I want to bring in Democratic Senator from Michigan, Gary Peters, ranking member on the Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committees. Thank you for your patience, Senator. Look, we keep hearing from TSA workers and from people stuck in those long airport lines. One simple thing. Why isn't Congress fixing this? So what do you say to them? I'm sure you're hearing it from constituents.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm outraged by it. We have our TSA workers that haven't been paid for a long period of time and aren't able to make mortgage payments, car payments, et cetera. We need to end it. We need to make sure that they're getting their paychecks and we're opening it up. In fact, I'm going to be going down to the floor in just a few minutes after I get off the air with you and have a unanimous request, a unanimous consent request, which means I'm going to put a bill on the floor that says, let's pay TSA now. We can do that, and we can actually do that. The only problem is Republicans can object, and I expect the Republicans are going to object. And it's hard for me to understand because although we have issues with ICE that we're trying to work out, and there is no quarrel about TSA or FEMA or CISA, but TSA right now, there's no quarrel. All my Republican friends say, let's open up TSA. I'm saying, well, you control the floor. You can put that bill on the floor today and we can vote on it. Or when I ask for unanimous consent, don't object to it. And we can send that bill off to the House and get this fixed. So there is a fix. And here we are in a situation where everybody I talk to says they want to help TSA, and yet our objecting Republican will be on the floor. I don't know who that Republican will be to object today, but I'm going to ask them, why are you objecting if you're making a big issue, rightly so, that we should make sure TSA gets the money they need while we continue to debate the very real concerns about ICE. Those are legitimate, but we don't have to conflate the two. And yet Republicans are unwilling, and the only reason I think is because they want to use TSA as a hostage so that they don't put in some common sense guardrails with federal agents, guardrails that we basically have in effect right now for all of our local police, but they're unwilling to do that, and they are basically using TSA as a hostage. That's unacceptable. So I'm going to try it again. I'm going to get down there again. I'm going to talk as passionately as I can that these folks need to get paid, and we need to get on with the business of making sure folks can get on their airplanes in a timely fashion, and it can happen as long as a Republican does not object. Stay tuned. We'll see what happens in an hour or so.
Well, in a sense, the non-voting Republican who objects but probably matters the most is President Trump, who just a couple of hours ago was again blaming Democrats for the shutdown. And then he also, Senator, made some new threats. Take a listen.
They're punishing the American people, including travelers at airports, all in the quest to return to open borders and give amnesty to illegal alien criminals. They need to end the shutdown immediately, or we'll have to take some very drastic measures.
We're going to have to take some very drastic measures. Do you know what he's talking about?
I have no idea what he means, but I would say he could take a very small measure. He could just call that Republican who's going to object on the floor today and say, don't object. Let's move forward and make sure TSA folks get paid and resources go there. That's really seems pretty easy. That's one quick call, and it could go away, this issue. He's unwilling to do that, and who knows what's going on in his mind right now. He makes all sorts of threats, and that's just the way he operates. But again, a simple call to the Republican caucus here in the Senate, and we can get this fixed literally by the end of the day.
Well, I know you have to go on the floor because you're trying to get this fixed. Senator Gary Peters, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us.